Guys, I made a huge mistake. The internet isn't written in pencil, it's written in ink, and unfortunately, I committed the worst crime a YouTuber could make. Oh no, not that type. No, I'm not Dr. Disrespect or EDP. My channel is nowhere big enough to even be close to that type of conversation. No, the big crime I committed was I thought the Crow remake was gonna be good. And I didn't want it to be a good movie, actually. I thought it was going to be a bad superhero movies, like my favorite bad superhero movies from the 2000s. But it didn't end up being that. Put the clown makeup on me because this movie is so boring. I wanted this movie to be an X-Men Origins Wolverine type of film, where it's just incomprehensible, but somehow a movie where a guy wears a goon jacket ends up not being funny? What happened? No matter how many endlessly bad needle drops happen or how many times Bill Skarsgård's accent ends up crumbling within scenes, this film never ends up really being that funny. Every good film or even bad films that are fun to watch do one thing similarly. They are taking big creative swings. The Crow remake kind of tries to bunt and then while running to first base realizes, it's gonna be out and just gives up halfway through. Like this movie about a goth daddy Bill Skarsgård is way too normal. How is a dude wearing a goon jacket while having an Edgar cut able to keep somewhat of a normal relationship with a girl? That is so boring. Why is their relationship so normal? And why is half of this movie dedicated to this half-baked love story? I want to see some shenanigans. Say what you want about those bad 2000s superhero movies, but they hopped into the stupidity right off the bat. I was completely sold on the premise of a goth Bill Skarsgård running around killing people, but he doesn't even get his powers until around 40 to 45 minutes into the movie. But this film also feels far too embarrassed of its own material. Like, you can kind of tell no one really wants to be in this movie. Like, it's okay, you're a cringy Hot Topic movie, accept your fate, have fun with it. But it tries far too hard to stay away from its weird emo comic roots and instead tries to be a rated R revenge thriller that kind of strips away all the fun of The Crow. So, just like The Average Father, I did end up leaving this very disappointed. Towards the back half, when it begins to actually use its fun material to create fun action scenes and some bizarre world building, that is when the movie is easily at its best and when it's at its most bizarre. Bill Skarsgård's performance in this constantly left me engaged throughout the entire film, but his performance is really only that strange in the last 40 minutes, and I wish it was consistently weird throughout because then we would have a true bad movie banger. While I was watching this movie throughout, I felt like the Goblin Mask was talking to me, telling me how peak this movie could be if it just accepted its weird, bizarre Evanescence roots. But The Crow never reaches Ben Affleck's Daredevil level of weirdness, and I'll probably forget it in a few days. Which is too bad because we may have had another bad 2000s movie on our hands, and that is honestly my favorite type of superhero movie. I'd give this movie 3 Crow Squawks out of 10. Please find where Mark Steven Jackson is and get him to direct the sequel to this movie, and we'll get some real bangers. Where is this man? Is he safe? He made Ghost Rider and Daredevil, and now he's stuck in rom-com hell just making these straight-to-video Hallmark slop. Because man, a Crow sequel directed by him might be the best thing ever. Or he can just direct the reboot in 10 years because this movie flopped and there's no money in here.